Okay, so here are hints for the CSV Lab. So I think you need to make a table called load data, right? And that's where the CSV is going to get read into. Then I want to make a time that happens. So I'm going to go down here and under my key pressed method, I'm going to add a if key equals space. Then we're going to run the load method. Why is it whining at me? Char does not match with Boolean.
You did two spaces. You did a tab.
No. I just needed a double equals because I need to check if key is space, not set key equal to space. And then the load method doesn't exist, so I'm going to go into my data methods tab and add it. Okay, so my load method needs to, it needs a return type, which is void. So you don't want this to return anything, and you need to load the data, right? So you're like, okay, so load data, right? My table's name is load table done to what? Yep, you want to load out the save data.csv, or if you copied the CSV file, you might, whatever your file name that you want to load is. And then you need a comma, and what's the second argument for? Header. Yeah, you need the string header, just to tell it that it's got a header, right? How do I know it's got a header? Because it had a header when I saved the silly thing up here. Right, where was that? Oh yeah, it's when I do add columns, right? When I made those columns, I named them. So the header is coming out of these save data.add columns.
Right.
Okay, so now I've got my header. I just want to check if this is working, so I do like print line load data dot get row count, just to like check that I actually got something going on here. I hit go. Make sure you click on this window. If you don't click on the window, it won't do anything. Okay, so I got 200 lines in my load, which is what I expect, right? I expect a header and then 200 lines. So now I need to work on, all right, what's my plan here? Well, I need two things, and these are the things that really you guys have to work out. So the two things I need here are, once you've loaded in the save data, you need to maybe like remove the bodies that are left, right? So you need to delete all the stuff that's there. Then you need to repopulate the bodies. And then you're going to need to overwrite their info with data from the CSV. And really, it's not from the CSV anymore. It's from the load data table, right?
Right.
Does that make sense? So that's going to look something like body, maybe body 0 dot lx equals, yeah, you're going to need to go, you're going to need to make some kind of a for loop. Well, remember that would rely on you having the same number of bodies, right? But the number of bodies is just a variable, right? You could change this to 300, and you would prefer if everything followed along. Please note that in order to get saving working right, you actually also need to save the mass. So the mass will need to get switched. Why am I initializing mass to 1? That seems super bizarre. Okay, so I did a save, and now I have this change that I made. I did that. I added this load method, which really just has a bunch of comments in it. I added those couple of things, and then I modified the save data. So I'm going to call this hint, and I'm going to commit it. And then I'm going to push it. And then you guys might or might not be able to see that. My repository is public, though, so you can, of course, see it if you go to, if you Google GitHub Introduction to Programming Fall 18/Gravity, it's in the navigation branch, right? So you need to get to the navigation branch. But it is committed 36 seconds ago up here, so you can get it from here in the worst case. Cool?